this video, we're going to look at domain and range of functions. All right, the first question says, the graph shows part of the function f. So we have this parabola here, and it's asking me for what is the range. So when we're looking at range, we look at the y-axis. Actually, let me start drawing it from bottom to top, because anytime we look at the range, we always want to start at the bottom from negative infinity and then move up. So it looks like actually my range is starting from negative infinity and then it's going all the way up to 5 right here. Okay, so and another way we can look at it is range, which is always the y-axis. Okay, the y-axis, since it's going down, it's going to be y less than 5. Okay, so you can write it like this, or sometimes we write it using interval notation. So it's going from negative infinity up until 5, and then I'll go ahead and close the bracket. So these are the two ways that we can write the range. I do want to take a second to kind of look at the domain. Even though it's not asking me, I still want to look at it just to show you. If this question were to ask you for the domain, you know the domain starts, it's the x-axis, and the domain goes from negative infinity, basically from left to right. So if I look at this graph, the arrow, even though it's pointing down, is also going to the left. So it's going to start from negative infinity to positive infinity. So the domain for this would be all real numbers. Okay? Or we can say from negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay? All right. The next question, it's also asking me for the range. So we're going to start from the bottom and then move up. So it looks like the range is just these points here at negative 2, positive 1, and then positive 3. Negative 2, positive 1, and positive 3. And then if this question were asking you for the domain, okay, let's just take a look at the domain as well, just because I don't know what they'll ask you. So start from the left, it's at negative 2, positive 1, positive 2, and then positive 4. So the domain would be at negative 2, positive 1, positive 2, and positive 4. All right. It says, what is the range? Okay, what is the range of the function when the domain is negative 5, 0, and 5? So it's looking for a specific domain for this function. Let's look at this as a table of values. So you have your x values, which we know is the domain. Okay, and then you have your y value, which is the range. And they're asking me specifically for negative 5. Domain is at negative 5, 0, and 5. And I need to find the y values. I'll go ahead and put this one in Desmos, because in Desmos I can change it to a table. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the function f of x equals x minus 1, copy it just the way it is, and then turn it into a table. Change the domain to what I want. I want it to be negative 5, 0, and 5. I'm going to take these off. And then there's your range, 36, 1, and 16. 36, 1, and 16. When they write it in set notation, they'll put it in increasing order. So they put it in order, but these are the numbers we want to check for. The graph of the function is shown. What is the range? All right, so again, range is on the y-axis. So we have on the y-axis is starting at 0, not negative 2, because negative 2 is on the x-axis, but on the y-axis it's at 0 and it's going up to positive infinity. So which means that y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so that is for the range, and then for the domain, you can see that it is all real numbers because it's going all the way to the left to negative infinity and then to the right to positive infinity. Okay, all right, find the values of the function when the domain. So whenever it's asking you for the values, that's automatically the y values, okay, when your domain is this. So this is similar to the other problem we did. You have your domain, which is your x, you have your range, which is your y. My domain is starting at, I want the domain from -2, -1, 0, and 1. So same thing, I'll just put it in Desmos. F of x equals, you don't really need to put the f of x, I'm just going to put the function like that. You can, it doesn't hurt, you don't have to. Create a table, I'm going to change the domain to -2, -1, 0, 1, I'll take off the 2, and there's my range, 17, 11, 5, and -1. 17, 11, 5, and -1. D. All right, last one, what is the range of the function? So again, it cannot be A or C because they have x, we want the y values. Y is greater than 2 because it's going up, so it's going to be D. All right guys, thanks for watching.